This is
Oh,
Jericho. This is Aaron. We're coffee with the Summerland kids. We're just we're just chatting about I know what it feels like to be a morning show host now. Um, actually, I might have to get my light on me, but anyways, coming out of the gate, we're live in person. Here we are.
yeah, I did a quick start this morning. Jericho jumped in. Normally we talk a few minutes. I thought, gosh, a few times we miss some really cool parts because we're
Yeah,
talking
I
before we
agree.
start. So I quick started this morning.
Yeah, I love it. I
And
love
then
it.
I'm
You know,
just so
go
you
ahead.
know, Jericho, like this first 1 minute, um, I go into Facebook and set the thing. So the first couple minutes I might not be totally engaged because I'm over on
Oh yeah,
Facebook changing that
that's
post.
awesome. Yeah. So Aaron and I basically we're childhood buddies. We went to Summerland Elementary School in Summerland, California, and we hadn't spoke to each other since sixth grade. Since basically summer of sixth grade, I think Aaron and his family moved up north, and it was like hasta la vista, baby. You know,
Hasta la vista.
yeah. So there we went, and then thanks to the technology with Facebook and all that stuff, I saw all of a sudden Aaron's name popped up. Somehow maybe it's just through friend groups, and the algorithm, whatever. So I saw Aaron there going like, "Hello, hello," in a box, and I'm like, wait, there's I know that dude, So I like basically we connected and just we started chatting every morning, and then we're like, hey, let's just go live with this because Aaron was already going live on his own and doing his own thing, so this just became a part of our day. So here we are.
Yeah, it's awesome because like I I've always seen social media as media.
Yeah,
Everyone's out there promoting this, promoting that, join my group, this and that. And it kind of took out the social part of it, to where it's
yeah,
just, hey, what are you doing today? I'm not doing nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. Good to talk to you. See you later. I mean,
yeah,
why not? Why not? I mean, it's just like a public forum. We're just here in a public area having a public discussion,
yeah,
semi-private, semi-public, and it's it's these interactions that make the world go round, in a sense.
for sure. Absolutely. It's just like the dialogue between the groups. I mean, we were tight because Aaron and I were the only two sixth grade boys in our class. So going back to that, there really wasn't. I mean, of course, there was other kids in the group. Blah blah blah. Our school was so small; they had fourth, fifth, and sixth graders in one room. So that
Oh,
was
woo!
yeah,
I remember some of the things that happened and the things we did. Now I'm just going to go off the cuff.
yeah, yeah,
So something's kind of come up, been rising, because you have a little brother who's now in heaven, right?
yeah,
And I remember like this one time we were out there at the beach over kind of by towards your house a bit.
yeah,
Um, and you were out there, I forget, I think it was Taylor and me and you and your brother Credence.
yeah,
And we're like real strong young kids. You were diving and jumping and Credence was kind of, smaller, younger.
yeah.
And I remember he would like you and Taylor would like take him and like the favorite thing we do in the pool is have the older kid throw us up in the air
Oh,
and
right.
splash down, and he like ride in the little wave and I just remember how we're giggling and laughing, and it was just so fun.
Yeah.
Just swimming around the beach.
Yeah, it was magic. I mean, a lot of folks out there probably know, spend time at the lake, but we had the Pacific Ocean was our lake, and it was right in front of our little town. So that was quite a magical time to live in the 1970s on the beach in California when the houses were, in some cases under $100,000 way back in the day.
Some cases under $10,000. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
exactly.
I think that you were saying that your beach house was like $20,000 or something.
Yeah, like 30 grand or something like that when they bought it. when they
And I
first
know
got it.
that the house, when I moved back from Oregon, like around third grade, I think it was 13,000. So the house that I was born in had to be less because the house that I lived in was right on the main strip. It had the commercial permits and stuff, where the house that I was born in on Varley was just a house. And now on Varley, I went, I got a little bit, I was telling you yesterday, Jericho, I went on the Redfin and I typed in houses for sale, Summerland, California, right?
Yep.
It's my goal. I want to move back to the beach. $2 million will get us into a house, bro.
Wow.
And it's not the new one. It's the old
it's a
19.
fixer upper, and the zip code is 93067 for folks out there. 93067. That's a hot little zip code for the tiny little town of Summerland, California, with a little post office. And I'll be damned if there's probably less than 50 streets in our town. I would imagine. I'm just guessing. It's almost like you can name all the streets in our town. It's so small.
No, I think I don't know if we talked about this on streaming, but I know we talked about it out back in the day on Halloween.
Yeah.
Such a small town, we would hit the whole town.
Oh yeah.
Have time to come home, change costumes, and hit the whole town again.
That's awesome. Classic. Yeah.
I don't know if you did that, but
no, but that's a rad concept there, and it was very I want to say very friendly to the kids. I mean, it was definitely like a kid town to me, at least.
Well, it was cool back then because, like, everybody went to the same school. Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
If you're doing something wrong and someone's seen it, your parents would know by the time you got home.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. If you're over there, whatever we did, we were kids. We're just crazy kids. And they knew us and they knew our family. So they would even come up and say, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this. Sometimes they'd give us a chance. You either stop now, and if you're sorry, okay, I don't need to tell your parents.
Right.
But I think nowadays, there's not that sense of community.
No. And back then it was all landlines. You call someone on their landline, because of course this is way before cell phones. So the only way to get a word to the parents had each other's phone numbers of where's my kid at? Well, call the best friend, call their house or something, to try to track down the kids, or just drive around the neighborhood. It can't be that hard.
No, I mean, if you had a bicycle or a skateboard, it was way quicker than walking. So they're not answering the phone, or it's busy because that was back, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
and
exactly.
Oh, look, we got a visitor. Come here, visitor.
Nice. You got the
Come here,
super
visitor.
Cat. Yay, super cat.
She's still new.
Yeah.
So she's not quite
acclimated.
No, she just doesn't want to be picked up only at certain times.
Yeah.
But she's just starting. Like you've seen, I was able to pick her up, and she let me hold her for a second. She's getting more and more comfortable.
That's awesome.
I think like me and you are getting more and more comfortable on these conversations.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a good warm up because it gets me. I'm up here in Colorado, and for the longest time, I got here in 2020, and I pretty much, as soon as COVID let up and the businesses opened up again, I got a job working for the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs, and was doing pickups and deliveries of donations and sorting through donations and all that stuff. And it was a fundraising for the animals. All the money went to the shelter that we got. And so I collected, I got this cowboy hat. I collected a bunch of, VHS, DVDs, blah, blah, blah. Sort of went retro with my my collection. Got a book collection. Finally got it up in the room yesterday. I moved the bookshelves across one whole wall and got my library up, because I came up here with just a Sprinter van with my tools and my essential art supplies from California. And I feel like I'm just now, after this is my 5th season, just now starting to really, okay, I'm here now, and let's get it together. I wish I could have come out with the same sort of mojo jive, but it was like at the time the country was like, when I drove across the country, all it was truckers on the road because there was very little traffic March 2020 because of COVID.
No, that was a weird time. Not
Yeah,
only
super
in,
weird.
in California, you know, our west side of the United States, but the whole United States, the whole world. In fact, they shut down, you know, travel, all these restrictions. It was, you know, stores shutting down, jobs stopping, schools shutting down. Just a
Yeah,
weird time.
weird time. Yeah, so odd. But I mean, I felt it was a good place to be, and thankfully the thrift store stayed open and served the community, you know, with clothing and furniture and all that stuff. And since I had some moving experience, you know, I worked for the Sunshine Boys in California for a bit, a moving company, and so with that experience, I used to drive the little box truck and go pick up furniture and whatnot. So definitely like sort of like I felt like it was a good deed to do for the community during that tough time we were having.
Yeah, you know, there's so much. There were so many little things that I noticed. Like I was in the valley down there by LA during the when it first broke out,
Okay.
and like just things like homeless people, because that's kind of one of my passions, you know, is helping. I was homeless. I, you know, realize how hard it can be to get out of that. And so
Yeah.
I'd always make it a point, you know, maybe give $1, maybe a couple cigarettes if that's what I got. Sometimes I'd even buy a beer and sit and talk, you know, with these people
Yeah.
that really don't have that social place to be, um,
Absolutely.
to socialize. It's such a human need. And I noticed that when the lockdown happened, it was just so much harder for those people. I mean, you think you and I had it hard. We had a place to be.
Yeah.
We had, you know, at least enough to survive. And those people are barely scraping by. And then so when COVID hit, it was so much different for them. You could just tell when I would stop and talk to people that it was even harder for them. But as a country, we made it through, you know.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, everything's back to as much normal as it can be with all the business closures, but um, just the growth of our people, of our
Yeah.
friends, our individuals. How
Yeah.
did
Feels like we're back. We're finally back, you know, from that whole thing, you know.
yeah, did COVID hit you or anybody you know?
Not so much me, you know, I know I might have got it before it all happened. Like in 2019. I just felt like a little something was a little off. So I actually moved up to Santa Barbara um, in 2020, like early, I guess it'd be early March, very early March 2020. Um, and just, you know, was in a position to be in a good spot. I mean, I had a cool job working on a job site with doing construction, renovation of an old house in Montecito. So it would have been a perfect place to be. Um, but, you know, my friend was in Maui living and he would have to travel. And, you know, since the travel restrictions, I just kind of felt like I better travel and get my moving out of the way before you're not allowed to or something. It was so weird that I just felt like I just meditated on it for a bit, but just pretty much like decided I'm going to go surfing for the last time, and then packed up and jammed out.
Yeah, it's wild. I also think I had it before because
Yeah,
I know for a fact, and I, you know, all this contact tracing stuff that started happening. You know, it was just basically a friend of mine had been sick 2 weeks, you know, 3 weeks ago, and you think, okay, sick, flu, whatever. But
yeah,
then I got sick, and he's, you know, you kind of laugh about it with friends. You're like, oh yeah, I had that 2 weeks ago. But then he told me his friend had just traveled, you know, I guess where the original first breakout was kind of traced
wow,
eventually. And so I ended up going to the hospital, getting some bronchial treatment, some inhaler stuff, and was just the worst sick I ever had in my life for
Oh, wow.
3 weeks. But I got over it. I got better.
That's cool.
And and us being Summerland kids, we taught, and even the whole COVID thing, the immunity. Once you're exposed, you get immune. That's why they did the vaccines to expose people to a lesser strain so that their body would create those antibodies
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So I just thought that was just wild, because I know someone that worked down there, that 2 people she worked with got the COVID,
Okay.
and one of them got worst sick they ever had, and one of them was like, I didn't even notice it. I just tested positive. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I know it's challenging for everybody, really. Just. I mean, I guess I was definitely in a good position, because coming up to Colorado and being, off the grid, and you know, just holding down the fort with mom at the cabin, and of course the grocery stores stayed open, so I'd go do the shopping and do the basics, and so to me it was I just thought of it like it was kind of like, hey, I'm here just enjoy it, the situation. I mean, when you're in the country, it's like you're in a peaceful place. All that chaos of the world sort of like drifts away. So
no, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, and I think even as a I always talk about like societal emotions and societal thoughts, because we all have individual thoughts, but society at large, the world at large, I think there's a commonality, especially when we have a common experience. And just like getting over and building a tolerance or building antibiotics, I think as an individual, I think that us as a world, as a society, or at least as a community or larger, has somehow developed some strengths against some difficult times. I mean, just like anything we do, we're going to face difficult times, and it's about getting through them and growing from them.
yeah, exactly. So that it was. I felt like it was helpful that the government, you know, threw down some COVID relief checks. So that really actually helped me greatly just to survive, because I have a low overhead as it is. Thankfully, I feel bad for the people that were full tilt in their business, maybe just invested in a restaurant or something, and then boom, COVID hit, and it was like, there goes your business. So a lot of people did kind of get hit really hard from that, and they're still recovering, I feel like, and maybe just now starting to pull out, because now it's like the playing field is clear again, and the game is on, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, with the economy, I think it's picking up. I mean, it's pretty cool. I wanted to say hi to Twitch. We do
Oh,
have
cool.
a live viewer right
Awesome.
now.
Yeah.
So enjoy some coffee, enjoy some conversation. You can join conversation in the chat room,
Cool.
or if you can find the link to join, we are having an open link for the Summerland and coffee. It's like our own little coffee shop, Jericho.
Yeah, we're just chilling at the coffee shop having a chat. So that's kind of the basis of our show, is really just two guys hanging out. I mean, we're getting into some topics. We've touched on some things, but we don't really have a. There's no agenda. We're what is it? Two Generation X guys. I was born in 1970. Aaron's born in 1971, right?
71.
Yeah. So we're old school. I mean, I got friends with kids who have kids now, so we're in the grandparent age, but I don't feel that way. I mean, crap. It's like I'll be 54 this summer, but I do look back at the pictures of me in my 30s, going like, man, I was just a baby. Yeah, 30 years.
It's almost like I'm going through a second childhood.
That's good.
Early in the talk, I was explaining how, it was just such a free for all when you're kids. You don't pay attention. You don't really care what someone else is thinking. You're just
Right.
like, you don't even give it a second thought. And then you get older and you start, especially like in junior high school, you start, girls or boys or social. You worry about what your friends think. You worry about
Right.
what your boss thinks. You worry about what people think about your job. You worry about what everyone thinks. And then you get to a point in your life, for me anyway, now that I'm,
Yeah.
I guess, hitting the twilight of, I don't care what you think. I really don't. I'm going to be me 100%.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
can like it or not. If you like it, cool. I know we were being real. If
Yeah,
you don't like
exactly.
it, cool. We're being real.
Exactly. So, there's it's interesting how there's the little the little groups that we had in like junior high and high school, like the kids that were definitely into like, whether it was like heavy metal or like new wave or Spandau or whatever their trip was. People have sort of like, some people kept their jam, kept their mojo. Like I think maybe you're one of those people, because you said you had the goatee in high school and you really never went off your path from your musical likes. You kept with the same jam, more or less, right?
I keep adding to it.
Okay, that's good. That's a good way to
I
go.
keep adding to it.
Yeah.
I was exposed when I was younger. I had an older sister, so she kind of had her radio. She would record her favorite songs and play them, and so I was exposed to that. And then, oh, music is cool. And then a couple of my friends from Summerland are like, oh, try this music. Look what I got. I got this new tape or whatever.
Yeah.
Or different parents' house, right? We'd go
Uh-huh.
over to the friend's house and the parents would be playing the radio. One person would be playing jazz. One person would be playing maybe reggae. One person would be playing more rock. And of course, I got my likes. But as I've
Yeah.
gotten older, oh, classical music. No, I'm a heavy metal listener in
Oh,
high
right.
school. But us heavy metalers like glam rock. What are you doing? Hair bands. Ooh,
Yeah.
boo. But as I got older and I'm like hearing songs on the radio, I'm like, that's a cool, catchy song. Who sang that? Oh,
Right.
that's one of those hair bands.
Like
Oh,
Poison.
I can listen to that now
Yeah.
because
No,
I
that's
don't care.
I'm more open minded myself, because it did seem very um you had to be within the group, and it was like very much opinionated on likes and dislikes. It was almost like Facebook before Facebook. So you were liking a certain thing, and that was your jam at the time.
Yeah, that was your like you're referring to Facebook. That was your group.
That
That
was your group.
was your friends that you interact with a lot. Liking
Right.
their posts because they're sharing things you like, which is cool. And I'm trying to get the social thing back in the media, So I'll actually spend time and I thought about a friend I haven't seen their posts in a while or talked to, so I'll drop them a text message or go on their page and like a few of their posts.
That's cool. Yeah, just to show face.
Yeah,
That's
just to show up.
show up. Yeah, that's important, and that's what we're doing here. We're just showing up and getting the day started before other people are even up. We're already at it and in it.
Yeah, and now I did something this morning. I didn't go live and press the record button, so it wasn't
Right.
going out to Twitch. But I was sitting in the studio playing around and so I put on a music and I sent the link out because you can still come into the studio while we're not live, and just trying to
Oh,
get, maybe a couple of friends have reached out. I haven't picked up the phone because it's right here and
yeah.
I'm here on the, so I'll do this and then the phone calls. So, it's weird because it's social.
Yeah.
And is this media? No, this is personal. Is this media? Yes and no, because it's personal and media.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
it's an interesting blend. I mean, I feel like I'm a little out of touch. Like I don't think I've ever sat through a Joe Rogan show and watched it. Of course, I see little clips, but I can't say I've watched one of his whole shows.
they're 3 hours long, bro.
Wow.
How can you
Yeah.
sit through a conversation between two people not being part of it for 3 hours? And I guess, yeah, if you're like driving or say you're working, you just got your earbuds in, you don't feel like jamming the music, you just want to hear some interesting ideas.
Yeah.
So that's where I think podcasts got their popularity, you know.
For sure. Yeah.
I know that they do now more video, and we're working on it. You know, you got your space, I got my space, and you try and change your outfit. I try and change my settings or my
Yeah.
angle.
No,
So
that's cool.
and it's not just for variety. It actually helps me, bro. Like when I go, because I don't upload every single day from
Okay.
Twitch.
Yeah.
And so it helps me to kind of say, look through my YouTube and see, oh no, Jericho's wearing his black hat and his red tie or whatever.
Right.
And I don't always change my clothes every single day. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't. I mean, some days, like yesterday, I sat around, I didn't sweat. And so
Well,
I
plus
didn't change.
you're like, what do you say? The Wookiee. The Wookiee.
Yeah, I didn't even brush my hair this morning. You can see it's all dreadlocked, and I
Right.
just throw a hat on, throw my headphones on. You
That's
know,
awesome.
I don't know if that's a good look or not, but
Well, and you were listening to Tenacious D, you said.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Now,
cool. Shout out to Jack Black, man. Thanks, Jack Black, for just being you and being fucking badass and representing, you know, the comedy, the music, and just the lifestyle, you know.
no, absolutely, and it's like I'm still learning this podcasting thing, and we talked a little bit off cam about, you know, it's like a morning radio show, me and you, right?
Yeah.
In a way it is, and it's like I always thought, okay, so those guys go what, 2 or 3 hours at least, but they put in the music and just playing with the stuff. I was in the studio here, like to do a video, to play a song. I was kind of trying to do it by myself, you know, while I'm in the Suno AI doing my music thing.
Yeah.
And so I was actually, since we are coming up on the half hour, we normally go a half hour. I don't know how busy you are today, but I was going to ask, hey, how about we put on that song, a couple songs maybe, either. Now here's where I'm having learning about if I'm playing someone else's song, copyrights.
Right.
But there is, I guess, a fair use, like a review. We're reviewing it. We're criticizing it. We're parodying. We're down in the corner while a video's playing or a song's playing, or we're on screen talking about the song, Mystery Science Theater 3000 style.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
No, I think it's great. I mean, you know, there's so many different directions to go. It's just, you know, you're at the helm of the at the ship as far as, you know, being able to you know, access the different you know, formats and stuff. I'm working, just so you guys know, I'm on an iPhone 8. You know, I need to upgrade, but that's all I have is an iPhone to get online and do this stuff with. So I can't multitask, but Aaron's a different level. You know, he's got like a laptop and he's got a phone, so he can actually take callers. I would think you could take a call while you're doing the show, whereas I can't take a call because I'm in the zone. I'm in the show. You know, yeah. So it's cool that you're able to multitask and share. And you know, I feel like there is music that's what is it, like a public domain. You know, I think certain songs, like definitely the very old stuff. Some of that stuff's like fair use or free to use. So there's, you know, whether it's classical music or perhaps some classic. I don't, you know, I honestly don't know how much music is out there that's okay to use. You know, but
Yeah, that's and you know, I'm playing with this AI, and you know, so I'm not quite 100% clear on what you can copyright as your own work,
yeah,
right? Because there's randomizers and stuff. I could sit there, literally press a button, random, 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 and I would have 2 songs every time I press a button.
wow,
And if I pay for the service, then it's copyright. If not, but if I put my own words, say a poem, or I write some stuff,
yeah,
you know, so there's a varying degree of that. So I was wondering if we're at the 30 minutes, if you'd be, willing to stick around a little extra today,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll drop down in the corner
Okay.
and play one of the songs or two of the songs I made on Suno.
That sounds good. Let's do it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up the Suno app. If I skip or whatever,
Yeah.
that's just because.
Yeah, totally. Let's call it. Let's do 40 minutes.
All right, cool. And so I'm going to change to the screen share function. So I'm just getting new at all this.
Thank you guys for coming today. This is Coffee with the Summerland Kids. We're going to share some music.
All right. And then I've been doing this fun little thing where I share the entire screen, but I'm going to just do Chrome tab today so that the screen share will be my Suno here. So, Jericho, do you see I'm on the website now?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. So it hasn't refreshed my credits. I was at 550. So I'm going to go into my library. These are all songs that I made, whether it's just pressing the random, typing a few ideas. I don't know if you've heard any of them, but okay, this one, and I'm doing this as also a test to see what happens. So this is just, I think, a musical.
Nice.
So I don't know if.
Flipping it, dipping, moving and grooving, breaking it down, showing what we're proving. Tricky moves, like we got something to prove. Break dancing music, we got the rhythm to move.
That's cool. You created that music,
School, breaking all the rules, showing off our skills. We can't be fools, spinning all our heads like a top that won't stop. Breaking it down till we reach the mountaintop. Breaking it down, feel the rhythm in the air. Breaking it down, show me all play fair. Breaking it down with the king of the street, break dancing music.
So just so you know, Jericho, I'll go back to the song, but I did not write those words.
Okay.
So that was breaking it down. And I basically, funky hip hop. That is the prompt that I used. And I think I put a couple, break dance music. I know I used that in the prompt.
That's awesome.
So it came up with all these words. I didn't refine it at all. So this was just straight out of it. So I didn't really go in and mess with it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. You say you don't have a laptop?
No, not right now. I have an iPad, but I got it. Once I fire up the internet again, I just been, rolling with Wi-Fi at the coffee shop, or, thankfully T-Mobile's been pretty decent with my signal. So, I use a cell phone booster out at the cabin, but I've just been keeping it old school, man.
No,
I do have a laptop, but it's freaking 20 years old. And I haven't seen it for a while, but I know I got it somewhere. It's an old Mac laptop.
No, I mean, as long as you have a browser, I'm going to suno.com is the website. And so it's really easy. I'll just show you, Jericho, while we're here. I've been doing this. But the create is just you write a song description right here. Or you can use custom mode like this and enter your own lyrics or make random lyrics. And then you can choose the style of music.
Wow.
And I know that the one song I wanted to play today on the show was one that I wrote the words to.
Okay, cool.
That was the one that was inspired through our conversations.
Nice.
um, the Summerland kids and the Summerland book group.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I had a just kind of an inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really know how. I don't have my mouse, so I'm having difficulty scrolling. That is why I'm not really going smoothly on finding the song I want to share.
But it's cool to see the
Oh,
dashboard.
Burning fire in my soul, rebels on a roll, rhythm of the revolution, play that reggae rock and roll, got the spirit of rebellion in every note and beat, feel the power of the music, taking over the streets, in a smoky, devil all.
yeah, that was another random one. But
Summerland kids, an amazing group, each one of them unique, look at
Yeah.
the proof. Summerland is a place not too far away. Maybe you'll visit us here on Sunday. The town on the coast, a beautiful place. The name it was named for mythical grace. A place in forever, where we come and we go, to start a new life from the old one before. Some say it's like heaven, a place we will stay. Others profess it's the origin from where we go away. And then others might say the place is not real. Then I have to say it is something you feel. No name can express what it is, all complete. Kind of a place where our souls go to eat. There is nothing quite like the friends you might make, where time and space are so real and nothing is fake. Be it on earth or only in mind. The Summerland place, I hope you will find.
so that's my lyrics, my poem.
I love that. Those are great lyrics, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's solid, and good choice on the reggae genre, because it's just like, you know, Summerland is just like that happy free spirit vibe, you know, like natural. I think people just reggae just tends to have a really like to me it's like a rootsy, wholesome country vibe. Yeah,
No,
that's a
it's
great
awesome,
genre.
bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
it's
good stuff. Good lyrics, man. Really good lyrics.
yeah, it's like, you know, for me, music, like it's an emotional thing.
Yeah,
There's
for
no
sure.
lying about it. You can hear that song that you remember that time and place, and it'll bring back that emotion.
Yeah, those are great lyrics, man. You know, I don't, you know, did you actually write it down? I mean, did you type it in, or how did that work?
Yeah. Oh, I just been doing my little daily poetry thing, right? I
Yeah,
just kind of wake up and get my first cup before our coffee chat,
yeah,
and I just to get the brain going,
yeah,
and you know, because it makes me think, you know, what did I do
yeah,
before? How do I make today's poem different? How do I make today's poem special? Sometimes I'm hit by inspiration, but it's the practice of daily poet, daily poet, daily poet.
yeah. That's super. You're on a good path, man. I feel like you're really doing something right. You know, it's you're doing the right thing, and you're going down the right road when in terms of like, to me, like art, poetry, music, it's all essentially like one, and that's a very special place to be. You know, so I'm cheers to that, man. You're really on the right path. I feel like, for sure.
Hey, it's my path. It's right for me. It's not, you
Yeah,
know, I don't expect everyone to drop into Suno and have inspiration or have ideas or have a inclination to do something,
right.
whether it be make 1,000 songs and make a YouTube channel and try and get some money,
Yeah,
or you know, write poetry and just express your poetry and have a meeting with your friends and get into positive daily habits,
yeah. That's
I
important,
guess.
man. That's important. You know, it's like a meditation, a schedule. You know, it's a good like I said, just it's a positive vibe. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I dig it. And like I said, it's kind of a test right there. What I just did to see if I get a copyright strike.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And is my music prompt give me copyrights, even though I'm not paying the membership? Because I know my words do. I know when I put in my original lyrics, there ain't nobody can say, "Oh yeah, the Summerland Kids song, that was my song." No,
Yeah.
it's digitally proven that I wrote it
Yeah.
before anyone played it. I put it in. I think I even put a video of me putting it into the Suno.
Right. Classic. It's like
And
what's it called? A digital thumbprint.
yeah, yeah, like a blockchain.
A digital cave painting.
My digital cave painting, bro. I like it. I like it, man.
Yeah. Well, cheers, man. To
Hey, we did
everything
an extra
go.
10 minutes. I gotta, it's the Tigger says ta-ta for now.
Yeah, ta-ta for now. Exactly. Have a great day, guys. Appreciate you stopping in and enjoying the show with us. Jericho and Aaron, Coffee with the Summerland Kids.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and all that good stuff.
Yay.